And good evening and welcome back to City Focus after a month hiatus. We're live on the air tonight at the studio, and I'm delighted to have as my opening guest after this respite, Barbara Neff, the dynamo of downtown New London, and kind of give us an overview of what's coming up. I thought it was appropriate with Memorial Day weekend coming up. What's going on in New London?
Oh, we have lots of stuff planned for the summer. On Friday, we actually have salsa. So there's a brand new event that's Willie Quiones has done salsa down at the beach, and now he's going to do it on Friday night, the third Fridays of every month at the Parade Plaza. So if you're not doing anything this Friday night, he'll be down there with
And
salsa.
what time do they open up with that?
Yeah, so that's the first thing that's going to happen. So,
Yeah. But what time of the evening?
let's see what time that is going to be. Let's see that one. I think it's on that one. So salsa.
Is that
salsa-
music, or is it going to be food?
So
or-
there's going to be food vendors. There's going to be lessons, salsa lessons, and then there's going to be a live band.
Oh,
So
neat.
that's from 7 to 10. Yep.
Are they closing off the street
No. It's going to be done right in the parade.
on the upper level?
Yes. Yep. And we also have on Sunday, Val Tamano is doing a veterans vigil, and she does that event every year, and that'll be Sunday night. And you can go down there, and they light candles. You can purchase a candle, I think, for a small amount, and then they light up the candles, and they have a vigil there.
Very nice.
Yep. So that's this weekend. And then we have some new things coming up. We have a Saturday market that's going to come up on Golden Street. And we also have Saturday market. Hold on. I'm going to.
When you say market, is this going to be like a fresh food type thing?
No,
or-
it's crafters.
Crafters,
It's a
okay.
craft fair. So Saturday market on Golden Street. These aren't my events, so I had to look these up.
That's okay.
So Saturday market on Golden Street, it's the first Saturday, June through September. And so that's June 1st, the 6th, the 3rd, the 7th, and that's 11 to 4 on Golden Street. And that'll be all artisans, and they might have music with that.
And that's during the day, you say, 11
Yes,
to 4?
11 to 4.
And they'll have the street closed off, I would assume.
Yes, Golden Street, the one-way part, from Bank Street to like Sunrise, it will be closed. So that's something new.
Well, that's good.
Yep.
Well, that's exciting stuff. Now, what's the status of the waterfront? Is that, with whatever work is going on down there, how is that impacting what you do or have done or going to do?
Well, I'll put on my dockmaster hat for that one.
Well,
So
you wear multiple hats.
I
so-
do. So we have the Coast Guard Museum that's being built, and they just went out for an RFP for the building. So right now it's on hold until the RFPs come back. And then we also had some work done to City Pier. So if you go down there, you'll see a fence down there. So we're planning for the Eagle to move from Fort Trumbull over to City Pier. So there's been some utility upgrades and some upgrades to the pier, the fendering system on the pier. So I'm trying, but I probably will not have as much of the pier as I want for Sailfest. So the only events that we're doing down there, last weekend was Blessing of the Bikes, and we had like 500 motorcycles down there. That was ran by the New London Motorcycle Club. And so the only event I'm doing down there is I have Sailfest on July 13th and 14th. And then we have Christmas in July. We do a lighted boat parade with the Thames Yacht Club. So that will be down there. And then what is the other event that'll be down there? Connecticut Maritime Heritage Festival will be down there. So those are the three events that will really be on the waterfront. So rest of the events will be up in the Parade Plaza. Mm-hmm. So we start out with like Let Loose Thursday, that's June 6th. I have 4 fireworks shows this year. So we have one on June 6th, which is Let Loose Thursday, which is a touch a truck and fireworks.
What does touch a truck mean?
So touch a truck is we bring in different vehicles, and families get to go over and learn about the different vehicles, whether it's an ambulance or a fire truck, or we have a Coast Guard boat coming in. So they'll be able to talk to people from the Coast Guard. They'll be able to talk to the fire department. We're working with someone from the Speed Bowl to bring a Speed Bowl car in. Amtrak will be there, and they'll be talking about Amtrak's.
Train?
No, they'll be talking about the Amtrak train safety and things like that. They participate in a couple events. So that's what, and then we have, of course, with food vendors and live music. So we have that on June 6th. That's the first fireworks show.
And are they going to be always on Thursdays, or not necessarily?
So Let Loose Thursday is June 6th and August 1st. And both of those have fireworks displays. Okay. So that one is Let Loose Thursday, and that's celebrating local. So it's local food, art, music, and fireworks. So we bring in local bands, local artisans, and local food to that one.
Terrific.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you had you got 4 fireworks. So that's 2.
Yep, so that's 2. Then we have Sailfest, that's 3.
And that's included in the mix, okay.
Yeah, so then we have that one. So that's July 13th. That's for Sailfest. And then we have, what's the other one? Connecticut, a celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, and that's September 21st, and that's on a Saturday night. So we have that one. So that's 1, 2, 3, that's our 4th. So
Fantastic.
that's 4 fireworks shows, yeah. And as well as Ocean Beach has, I think, 3 fireworks shows. So we have 7 pretty free fireworks shows in New London this year.
Well, the fireworks are certainly popular, and it tends to help enhance and draw, I think, a little larger crowd.
Yes, I think it does. As long as you can find the sponsorship for it, which we're very lucky that the Foxwoods. So the Mashantucket Pequots sponsor Sailfest, but Foxwoods sponsors the other 3 shows that are
really?
downtown.
Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's a nice tie.
Yeah. So, and they usually have a booth downtown when they come down for the events. So you can spin the wheel, win a prize.
Well, looking at the calendar of summer events, after this coming up Let Loose Thursday, the next event on the calendar is Sailfest.
Yes.
Now, is that going to be, that's a 2-day or a 3-day event?
That's a 2-day event.
So it's going to be a Friday, Saturday, or
Saturday, Sunday. Saturday, Sunday. So the vendors come in on Saturday, and so the vendors, of course, will want a 2-day festival, not a 1-day festival. So it's Saturday, Sunday.
And things are lining up well, and this will be primarily on Bank or Bank and State, or how are you going to mix and match and make this thing work?
So we'll have vendors on Bank Street and State Street. The beer tent and the stage will be in the Parade Plaza. We don't have the Custom House Pier anymore because there's a restaurant down there. There's construction on City Pier, so that's going to limit that pier a little bit. But we will have things on the waterfront. Breezeline is going to be a sponsor of the Amistad, so the Amistad will be there that you'll be able to tour. It's the 45th year of Sailfest.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. So it's the 45th year of Sailfest, so we have some new things that we're doing. We're asking people to email us your favorite memory of Sailfest. And starting this week, we'll start passing out free shirts that say, that have the 45th logo on the shirt, and then on the back, it will say, the best things in life are free, kisses, great memories, and Sailfest. And so we always say that you you remember where you are when you go to Sailfest. Everybody has a Sailfest memory. So Marty, I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you, what's your favorite Sailfest memory?
My favorite Sailfest memory was watching, as a counselor, down on I was on one of the boats. I don't remember which boat it was, but the elected officials were given an opportunity to watch and view from a ship that was tied up downtown, and you can't get much closer.
Yeah, I think that was Crosstown Ferry took one of their ferries out.
So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So everybody has a memory. People have memories generations. So we've opened this up to ask people like their favorite memory. And I had a woman call me and tell me, she's like, I saw your post, I want to tell you my favorite memory. I'm like, okay, tell me your favorite memory. And her favorite memory was that her and her mom, and I might cry, but her and her mom came every year to Sailfest. And they always had fried dough. That was their thing on the city pier. And she says that, her mom's passed away, but every year she goes down and has fried dough and has that feeling that she always did with her mom and knows that her mom's there. And so people have those memories that they remember generation after generation of either coming with their parents and or now bringing their grandchildren. And so, Sailfest might not be your thing on Saturday because it's a little, it's a little overwhelming on Saturday, but a lot of the locals go down on Sunday. So Sunday we've been calling for the last few years is Family Day. And we always try to offer free things on that day. So we have a pirate invasion that we do, that we ask kids to come down and dress up, and we have pirates, and you have to defend the city of New London against the pirates. And I have these great pictures of kids fighting, not only my staff, I make my staff do it too, but fight with the pirates on the waterfront. So that's one thing that we're doing again. As I told you, on the back of the shirt, it says, all the best things are free, kisses. Well, this year I teamed up with our animal rescue, and we're going to have puppy kissing booth. And so you'll be able to come down for a donation and hug a puppy, kiss a puppy, and hopefully adopt a puppy at Sailfest. It's only going to be a short time. It's because July is a hot month, so we'll have puppies in my office in the air condition, and we'll swap them out. So it'll be for a couple hours down there. We also have a free photo booth down there. You'll be able to take free photos. So those are some of the things that we're doing for the family fun. The amusement rides are always $20 for a bracelet, and you ride all day.
And where are they going to be set up this time?
That's a good question. I can't give you an answer for that. My hope is that they're going to be on the waterfront, but I'm still trying to tweak that area down there.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting when you mention the memories. I mean, I've watched the fireworks from Mitchell College, the Coast Guard Station in London, Fort Trumbull, various sites along in downtown.
And so you say those various sites, and you probably were with different people at all those times. Yeah, I mean, so then you share those memories with that person that you spent it with,
Yeah, and a popular place years ago before the Fort Trumbull renewal was to go down Hamilton Street and go behind Minor and cross the tracks when you could. Mm-hmm. And go where the castle oil tanks used to be and watch there. And park up on Shaw Street, Willis Avenue, so you can get the heck out of there, because otherwise you box yourself in, you can't get out. But these are the kind of things that you remember, and most of the shows have been pretty darn good. One year we had a lot of rain, and it was kind of unique.
That was OpSale. That was 2000. That wasn't my event, but it happened. Well, so knock on wood, I haven't had any rain. I've had fog, but I haven't had rain.
But but the things that you remember. I mean,
right.
Yeah. It's interesting, and you're getting my gray matter moving here. I don't know if that's a good thing or not here.
Well, it's funny because like even me, before I ran Sailfest, my family had a store, so I attended Sailfest before I ever started running Sailfest. I attended it, and you remember when you were younger the way it was, and the way it is now. With that, now we have the waterfront. Sailfest happened before 2000, before we even had that waterfront. So we didn't even have that. Everything was in the streets, and it took up more of the community than it does now.
Yeah. In the early years with the New London Development, the MCDC, Marine mm-hmm. Commerce and Development Committee of Michael Amparelli and their cadre of volunteers putting that thing on. And in the early years with New London, their fundraising and then sharing fireworks expenses with Groton, and it's kind of evolved into what it is now with the tribe taking on that and their generosity. I don't know if we'd have this without them stepping up to the plate.
Right. there's been years that, are not as good as others, and you wonder, will they come forward? And they have come forward, for years to support the event.
Yeah.
And we're very happy about it. And now that they're supporting other fireworks displays in New London, we're ecstatic to have him as a partner.
And Rodney Button is a terrific guy. And,
He is a great guy.
his father's a classmate of mine. I grew up with his father.
Oh, really?
So we went to high school together. We were on swim teams together, going back to young fellas.
Mm-hmm.
So have that personal tie to the Butlers. Well, that sounds exciting. Now, what about parking with these two new apartment buildings, the Docks and the Beam? That loss of parking, where are people going to park? Are you going to run some shuttles or?
Yeah, we never run shuttles. Shuttles were ran during op sale, and the problem with a shuttle is it's great when you at the end of the night to get the people out at the first time, but then you can't get the buses in to get the next group out. So the shuttles are really is a difficult situation because everyone wants to leave at the same time. Everybody staggers in. So the shuttles work with everyone staggering in on the shuttles, but it doesn't work when everyone wants to leave at the same time. We've actually worked with Shoreline East to have trains run from New Haven into New London.
I was just going to go there, and you beat me to it. Please
So
continue.
So we work with Shoreline East, and so there's two trains, one that comes in at 5 o'clock and then one that comes in at 8 o'clock that you can take in. And if you go to our website, you can sailfest.org, directions, it'll tell you which ones you can take in. And then there's a train that leaves, and I've been fighting with Connecticut Rides this week because their train they have leaving at 11:45. Last year it was 10:50. So it's a later train this year. So I've been trying to get them to change the time.
Get an earlier train?
Yeah.
I would suspect that if the later train, you don't want to have people loitering unnecessarily. If they
Right, well then now you have families waiting an hour because the event's over at 11, even though the fireworks are over about 10 o'clock. We run the music till 11, and then so everybody isn't leaving at the same time. But now you're going to have a train that's an hour after that. So.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you're right on schedule here. This is.
Well, we're doing a Latin stage, and that's all booked, but we haven't booked our main stage yet. We're still trying to piece that together, so we're working on that. So I should have that done by now, and I don't. My committee, I'm having a hard time getting my committee together. There's 4 people on our committee, and we all meet together and go through everything. And so we were supposed to meet on Tuesday. It didn't happen, so hopefully tomorrow.
Okay. Well, recently you had a cruise ship come in.
I did.
So that was exciting.
It was.
And a surprise, I think. I don't think the community as a whole was expecting that. So.
Well, we have 7 visits this year.
Yes. Well,
we have
talk
another
about that. That's exciting.
So yeah. So we're it's actually a new cruise boat. It's only been around since. Let me see. I just took a picture of when it's coming in. So it's coming in on next week, May 29th. It'll be in again. And then it has another 4 visits in October. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 visits in October.
So 5 plus
So there's 8 visits. So we have 8 visits. So, yep. So there was May 8th, we also have one in June, too, the end of June. So we had the one that we have one coming up, we have another one in June, and then we have some October dates coming in. So it's a new tri-hull that was just built in December. And so I've been in discussion with American Cruise Line, they're out of Connecticut, to do a New England cruise. So the New England cruise is New York and Boston. It went to Saybrook, New London.
Does it do Newport? Does it go up to Maine, or is it from New York to Boston?
Yeah, it's New York to Boston. Yep. So what we did is they ended up, when they came in, they had different tours options that they can take. that the American Cruise came up with. So you can, one of the tours where you can go on the water taxi and get information, historic information about on the river. They brought them to the Lyme and Allen Museum, St. James Church to see the Tiffany windows, the Nautilus, and then Mystic Seaport, I think was the other one. So there were morning tours and afternoon tours. You could take one or the other, or you could just roam around downtown. So,
was there anything planned in downtown, or maybe to take anything down to like Fort Trumbull or anything like that? We should have a walking tour of our own historic sites.
Well, the last year when no, not last year, the year before when the cruise boat came in, they worked with the historic they worked with landmarks, and they had a bus trip around downtown. Mm-hmm. So they did all these spots. They did Lyman Allen, they did St. James, they did Fort Trumbull, and they did it all. And then they went down Bank Street, and there was a historian on the bus that gave them a tour. This group...
It was totally a ride. It was not an on and off type of thing?
Correct. It was a ride. And so these are older people that are typically go on this tour. When the people came off the boat, I greeted them. I would ask where they're from. A lot of them from the Midwest or the West Coast that are coming to New England. So they want those things that they can't see. So Tiffany windows was important. The Nautilus Museum, which they hadn't seen a submarine, which they could actually go in. But I don't make the tours. That's done by the cruise line.
Okay, yeah. Well, Nautilus is, I love that. Anytime I have guests from out of town, I take them there because where else can you do that?
I know, yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of unique.
I make gift bags for them. So we have gift bags that we ask any of the businesses if they would like to put anything in, and then I go and collect things. So like Fort Trumbull gave me a historian book that I got to put in there. The boat holds about 110 people. There was only 60 people on this boat. So we put menus, if like Muddy Waters gave me their menu. The Golden Owl gave me a bookmark. We put in an events list so that they know other things that are going on. So even if they go home, there's a conversation of, oh, these are the things that are happening in New London. These are the things I saw. Maybe I'd like to go back. Maybe they talk to somebody who comes and visits because of these things that they went and saw. So,
well, I recall, I don't recall the year, but we had a ship come in, and you had down in the parade, you kind of had a little pop-up tent bazaar. Is that something that would consider? I mean, that way there, when they get off the boat and get over the tracks, those who are staying in town, they get an immediate hit. It's not just, not a lot going on. There's boom.
Yeah, that was back in, I think, 2009. We had
long, holy smokes.
Yeah, we had a lot of cruise boats that year. We had probably about 7, and those were the bigger cruise boats where they came into the State Pier, and then they got bussed downtown, and then I did a welcoming center in the train station.
Yep.
And then they could take a taxi or, because back then there was an Uber, so you took a taxi or a cab or something, and then you could go around and see things, and they walked a lot more and stuff like that. Because of the low number of, that boat had a lot more people on it.
Okay, I'm just
this like I said, this boat only has about 60 people on it. It did this time, but it could have up to 100.
Okay,
So.
and do you feel comfortable that this can be an ongoing thing, and that that New London's going to be a strong port of call for this line?
Well, I talked to the captain. It was his first time bringing the boat in. He enjoyed the dock. He didn't have a problem. We walked up and down the piers. He really liked the historic part of New London, and he thought that maybe a historic cruise of New England would be a good sell because we have so much history, and of course, Boston has history, and the other ports have history too. So he was talking about that he was going to go back and talk about that. So there's a lot of interest. So my hope is that they keep coming.
Mm-hmm. Now, were either of the casinos destinations for folks getting off the boat?
No. Nope.
Is that by design or just by chance?
Nobody asked me to get to the casino. Nobody was looking for a taxi. We did not shuttle them there. So,
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's a rational question to
Yeah.
ask. The casinos are pretty big.
yeah, nobody asked to visit the casino. I think casinos at one time it was for us like in '85, when we first had casinos, I think it was rare that you could have casinos other places. And now I think casinos have opened up so much more. You can gamble online now, things like that. I don't know if actually walking in a casino has the experience. Obviously it does because the casinos are there, but I don't know if it's as big a deal as it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the biz. That's why I'm asking the question.
Yeah, nobody's asked me to. Not one person asked me, could they get? And like I said, back in 2009, people said, "How do I get to the casino?" And we would tell them that there was a bus that they could take. I didn't get that once.
Mm-hmm. Now, is there gambling on the boat?
No, there's not. Nope.
I know many years ago, in one of my tenures in council, we were negotiating having a casino boat that didn't last very long, but we gave it a try. So I was just kind of curious at that time. I know that when I went out on that, when they were trying to butter up the elected officials, that and I don't really care what people do with their activities of that type, but nothing worse than being caught out in the middle of nowhere and you got no money. I want to go home.
Probably wasn't an ATM on the boat back then.
Well, I don't think so. But it was. But for those who enjoy that, it was a good time. Now, is this the same boat coming in each time now? So it's not
So it's the same company. It is not the same boat. So I have 3 different boats coming in, but it's the same company.
And is their schedule the same? They come in at the same time and they leave at the same time?
No. So
every trip is a little different.
Yes. So I have them a few times coming in at 8:00 p.m.
Oh, you can stay overnight?
They stay overnight.
On the boat?
On the boat. And then the next day they have in New London, and then they leave at midnight.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
I have a few of those. I have a few that they're coming in and leaving the same day. So once again, they would come in. They would come in the morning at 7:30 in the morning, and they'd leave at 6 p.m. Mm-hmm. So they'd come in and they'd have the whole day. So I have both.
Yeah. So it's incumbent upon our local businesses when they have this schedule, that especially if they don't necessarily operate the same hours normally, that they may have to it would be a good idea to maybe open up early if the boat's coming in and people are getting off, or staying open later if people are wandering around later in the evening. It's a whole different
Right,
crowd.
they could. Mm-hmm.
As opposed to saying, well, we open at 10 or we close at 6 or whatever. And, this might be an opportunity to, get some new blood in there.
Yeah, I emailed all the businesses the cruise schedule, so that they're aware of it. I don't think the hardest day is when they're coming in on a Monday, and I have one Monday that they're coming in. That's when a lot of our businesses are closed. But the Wednesdays they're coming in, Thursdays, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I only have one Monday. So that will probably be the tougher one.
Mm-hmm. Are you able to access for a tour of the Coast Guard Academy? I mean, it's just it's a pretty neat place too.
I don't think any of the boats have ever done the Coast Guard Academy as a tour.
I mean, I go down to West Point usually once a year for a football game,
Mm-hmm.
and they not on game days, but other days. I mean, they run daily tours at West Point.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the public is welcome, although they don't want you wandering around aimlessly, but but it's a pretty neat place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Coast Guard Academy is as well, where people can see where their tax dollars are going and where these fine young men and women are going to be officers. I think access would be helpful. It may also help a bridge between New London and the academy as well, which on the whole, I don't necessarily think is robust with any of our schools.
Well, it'll be nice when the Coast Guard Museum's done, because they'll be able to pull up right there and go to the museum. So.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's so much going on here. And we're only we're only into July.
Yeah.
Well, let's see here. Just kind of looking at the upcoming summer calendar here. Christmas in July. You've got a lighted boat parade.
Yep. So we work with the Thames Yacht Club, and they decorate boats. Last year we had to cancel it because of lightning. Hopefully we won't have to this year, but we have that event that's right off the waterfront. The sailboats come in. They come around. We work with the water taxi and the Salvation Army, and we put kids on the boat, so they're the lead boat. The last 2 years, Anthony Nolan has been Santa on the boat. He's very nice to donate his time. And so, and then we have other boats, and anyone who wants to join can join. They just need to contact us, and we give them all the information. So, so we have that going on. Like I said, we have a Let Loose Thursday event, which is all local. We have the pirate event, which we've been doing for quite a few years, and that is, we do a scavenger map in downtown. So we're going to do something new. We're going to have a costume contest for adults and children, because we have so many adults that come down and like to dress as pirates. We give you a scavenger hunt, which the businesses can participate in, and you go in the different businesses and have to do different things. And then you turn your map in at the end of the night, and we have a drawing for 6 people to go out on the Poets Lounge, which is a 2-hour sail of a boat that works off the waterfront. So.
Now, in years gone by, at least once you had an in-water boat show. Is that something that you look at, or is the stuff that is happening at the city pier kind of put a damper on that?
Yeah, so we did that, I think 2 or 3 years we did that. We did, and we had boats up on the parade plaza and in the water. And that's just not possible with the construction that we have going on.
In the future, or is the new configuration going to make that challenging?
Well, you'll probably have to look and see what we have to see if something like that could happen.
You've also had professional barbecue contest.
We did. Yeah, we did. We were the state of Connecticut's. I worked with Kansas City Barbecue, and every state you had to go and compete, and every state would send a winner. And our New London Waterfront Park, that event would be the Connecticut. If you won that, you got to go to Kansas City Barbecue, and you represented Connecticut. And so once again, that was down on the waterfront.
Well, has that run its course? I mean,
it has. What happened is the casino. So, in the city of New London, we have Ledgelight Health District.
Yep.
And so Ledgelight Health District, if you sell barbecue, so a lot of these barbecuers are not restaurants. They're policemen, they're firemen, they're doctors, and they're just general people that love to barbecue. And these are the people who compete. Well, what happens is Ledgelight Health Department wants you to be a certified food handler to give food to the public. So they couldn't give food to the public. So the public would come, but you couldn't try from the competitors.
That's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. And so Mohegan Sun decided that they saw the popularity of our event. They decided to do it in their parking lot. And what happened was, because they're a sovereign nation, they don't have to follow the same rules as we do. And so the contenders could sell food at that event.
Yep.
So it really, unfortunately, it they rather participate in that event than our event. So it didn't work out. It wasn't the same after they did it.
Yeah. I remember year one that it was puzzling. People were barbecuing. You were unable to buy their
And it depends. State by state has different rules. So if you go to a lot of the Midwest states, if you go to a barbecue event, you get to try the food. You can buy their food. They make enough food that they can sell.
Yeah.
So it was disappointing that we couldn't do that.
Yeah, but that happens like with Sailfest. All the food vendors have got to go through this legislate, correct? I mean,
yeah. So a lot of
exempt.
times, So a lot of times people will say, well, years ago at Sailfest, churches used to be able to sell food, and yes, years ago the health department license were a lot different, and you didn't have to have a certified kitchen, and you didn't have to have a certified handler, and you didn't have to have a hand wash station, and you didn't have to have all these things that you have to have now.
Yeah.
So.
That does change the equation.
It did. And so unfortunately, after a few years of that, once the casino decided to do it, it really changed what our event was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Doing anything with food trucks this year?
So I am working with, there are other food truck events. So we stopped doing food truck festivals because of restaurants downtown complained. That was before COVID. We had some restaurants downtown complain that the event was too big. And so we canceled the food truck festival. Other areas are now picking up food truck festivals and doing them. So I haven't done a food truck festival since 2018. I have been told by the city that we should try doing them again. So I'm trying to find a date that I can fit in to do one.
Yeah, I mean, I think, anything, and I mean anything that's appropriate, that we should be doing anything to bring people into our community and our downtown in particular. And food trucks, people enjoy.
Yeah, they do.
And not everybody's going to eat in food trucks. They'll go and eat in the restaurants, or they'll see the restaurants, and perhaps they'll come back the next weekend and visit one of our many dining establishments because they see them or talk to other people or whatever it takes. But generating critical mass of people is important.
Yeah, we also didn't have alcohol at the event. So if you wanted to go have a beer or something like that, you had to go out up into the business community.
And there was music and you had entertainment, and it was
we had roaming entertainment for kids and things like that. We worked with an artist to do some chalk drawings on the waterfront where kids could play down there, and we had hula hoopers and we had live music. So it was unfortunate, but I try not to fight with the business community. If they really don't want it, then there's no reason to have it in. So that's what happened.
Okay, well,
So we might be trying it again, though. So.
Well, I'll have my fingers crossed. So let's see. We're moving into September. You've got a Connecticut Maritime Heritage Fest. Now, that's kind of an annual thing, isn't it?
It is, and so that's run by the OpSail organization.
Is that Labor Day weekend?
No, I don't think so. No.
Or is it that's Labor Day the weekend before?
Yeah. So that event is going to be changed this year. That event is primarily going to be down at Fort Trumbull.
Oh.
And so they always look to get a Navy boat in. They haven't had one since COVID. I think there's a really good chance that they get one this year. So we'll be doing the main stage down at Fort Trumbull. There'll be a parade for children's down there, food vendors, crafters. We will have boats at the city pier, and Project O will be at the city pier. There's also a bass festival that's happening that weekend, and the burning of Benedict Arnold is that weekend.
Okay.
So that's a big weekend.
Okay, a lot of stuff. Yeah, I happened to notice driving down Pequot Avenue yesterday, out in the mouth of the river was a rather large Coast Guard vessel. I don't know if you were aware of that or what its purpose was there, but
I know there was a dry dock that was brought in, that got refurbished, that was brought into EB yesterday. I don't know if that boat had anything to do with it.
I don't know. I mean, it was eye-catching. It was a very large, up against the ledge light. And it was, and I haven't seen anything or heard anything as to why it was there or what its purpose. So So maybe have to put your ear to the pavement and let me know.
Was it yesterday?
It was yesterday.
Oh, it could have been because of Coast Guard graduation. Sometimes they bring in boats and I didn't go to the graduation, but sometimes they bring in Coast Guard boats and dock them out of the Coast Guard for the graduation.
Yeah, they'll use them as a backdrop too.
Right, right.
Yep, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. And you've got events moving into the fall right up through the end of the year here that are on your calendar.
These are just my events. There's a lot of other events. So I think there's going to be church services going on every Sunday night down at the Parade Plaza from 6 to 7. I saw that permit come through. June 21st is Make Music Day. So there'll be music, there'll be a stage in the Parade Plaza, and that's happening. Juneteenth at the Hempstead House is happening, and it's not on Juneteenth, though, so let me get you the date for that. So that'll be June 8th at the Hempstead House. There's also the Current Club Rowing Regatta, and they've been doing that for years, and that is August 17th also. And so that'll be down at the Custom House Pier. So there's a lot of things going on. This is just a poster of my events, but there's a lot of other things going on.
I would suspect so. I mean, downtown has its a variety of places too that have music. I would anticipate the Hygienic must have a lineup of things going on.
I don't have their lineup, but I will tell you Ocean Beach has one hell of a lineup. They have a 2-page flyer of everything they're doing down there this summer.
Yeah, well, I think Dave Segura does a terrific job. And, and also Jeff Mullen with the rides in the arcade. I mean, this is all his. I mean, he bought all this stuff and trying to recreate the magic that was once. And I give him high marks. He puts in an awful lot of time, and he's invested a boatload of dough.
Yeah.
So folks should go to Ocean Beach. It's also just, it's in the news as one of the finest beaches, I think, nationally right now. It's hitting the top 20, I think.
So my boyfriend's a New York fireman, and we get a call when they had something at the beach. And he says, he says to my boyfriend, he says, you have a place in New London. He goes, what's this beach with this sugary sand? And he's like, sugary sand, huh? I don't know. And I said, oh yeah. I said that's Ocean Beach. That's, they advertise it as like sugary sand or something like that. It was funny though, because if you go other places, it really is a light, fluffy sand. But it was the first time we had heard that, and it was a friend of ours from New York. So,
yep, it's a marker for New London. Ocean Beach is, we're running in essence a state park, as a municipality. So I mean,
right.
It's so I give the guys and gals that are putting everything on down there high marks for what they do. And Dave is a good neighbor with the beach. I mean, he goes out into the neighborhood, especially on those, like the 4th of July weekend and stuff, and make sure that places are picked up and that our guests from out of the area are not leaving the neighborhood in tough shape.
Yeah, he does an excellent job down there.
So I applaud his efforts. I see a food stroll on here. Now, that used to be a Main Street program, and is this something you have taken up or adopted or co-opted?
Exactly. So since Main Street's not around anymore, the Downtown New London Association took on the food stroll. So this will be our 3rd year for running it. It was a nice event. People liked it. We didn't want to see it go by the wayside after COVID, so we took it over. Yep.
And you're getting people back. They're coming back in.
Yes.
And
yes.
That's good.
We don't sell as many tickets as Main Street did. Main Street did 900 tickets. We try to limit it to only 600 tickets. It can be taxing to the restaurants, so we do about 600 tickets instead of 900 tickets. So.
And you do one. They used to do at least, I think, 2.
Yes. Once again, taxing on the restaurants. Giving out twice free food like that. So what I do is I do a restaurant week. So in April, I advertise their restaurant specials for a restaurant week, and then in the fall, we do the food stroll.
Okay. And let's see, into September, you've got celebrations of Hispanic Heritage Month.
So I've been working on that with Willie Quiones for quite a few years. And last year we had fireworks, and again this year we're going to have fireworks for that event. So
he's very talented. He's very proud of his ethnicity, and
he works very hard.
Yes, he does.
Yes, very good at what he does.
And let's see here. I see even moving into October, you've got Halloween, we've got Christmas tree lightings, we've got Small Business Saturday to kick off the Christmas shopping season.
Right. We do Kwanzaa now, which is the last couple of years. So we do that.
And I see a Santa shopping stroll. So
we do. That's another. We have Santa, and we have carolers on the streets, and different things you can go into the restaurant, the businesses, and get. So yes. Yep.
So you've got a very busy activity schedule here. I mean, it's already started, actually. It's not starting now. But
so I sort of try to kick it off in June and at least have one thing, and then in the summer we have a couple things, but at least have something. These, like I said, these are just my events. There's other events that are running throughout the season, but so.
Now, do you feel that or is the construction limiting your opportunities on the waterfront or the restaurant that's down there on the Custom House Pier in terms of access to do things down there right at the moment?
At the moment, the access, I don't have enough room down there. And it really, since COVID, we've been trying to do them in the Parade Plaza. When you come down Bank Street, you see them, you know something's going on. Unfortunately, when we do things behind the train station, it has to be a destination. You have to know it's there. You can't see it. So having it up in the city is, and then with the fireworks, we do them on top of the parking garage. So it works out well in the Parade Plaza. So
that's terrific.
Yeah.
Who's putting on the large Sailfest fireworks these days?
Garden State Fireworks out of New Jersey.
Out of New Jersey?
Mm-hmm.
And are they new, or they've been doing this now for a while?
They've been doing it for a while. Foxwoods, we bid it out, and they've been doing it for a while.
Okay, terrific.
Yep.
Well, this has been really
now you can go advertise all of the events. Now you know all about them.
Well, that's listen. I can't think of a better guest to kick off the summer season than Barbara Neff.
Well, thank you.
And note, folks, that although we are on live now, that our friends here at SEC TV will be rerunning this program on a regular basis here on cable, and they also post on their YouTube site, so you can watch the program on YouTube as well and get informed and find out what's going on and take advantage of all the opportunities going on in downtown New London and beyond.
Which are free. That's what we forget. They're free.
Can't beat that.
You don't pay a gate at the event. You just come on down.
Well, I'm excited. This is good stuff. I've got a couple of PSAs I got to do here, Barb, if you don't mind. I've been asked by a gal in the New London High School class of 1974, if I could make a note here, about their 50th reunion, which will be July 13th at Ocean Beach.
Oh, they'll have fireworks.
From 6 to 10 p.m. And a contact person is Kim Richards Matson. For those, let's see, I've got an email here. It's klmsed@aol.com. So if you're interested in the class of 74 for your 50th, have at it. My 50th was 2 years ago, and that was a lot of fun. We had a good turnout. And my brother was in this class, 1974. So I have a little personal note there. I may see some folks from his class that I haven't seen in years as well. And also, just a reminder that the New London Kiwanis Club's annual golf tournament's coming up in September. Friday, September 20th at Shinnecossett in Groton. And we need everything. We need players, and we need sponsors, and we need raffle prizes and volunteers. It's a good time, and the money goes right back into the community, and it's our primary fundraiser for the year. So we really encourage a lot of local participation. Was there anything in kind of a last moment or two here that you'd like to share with the audience on what you're doing, or other things that maybe we neglected to touch on here?
Well, we got the Nick Woviotis dinner on Friday night at the Italian Club that we have tickets for.
That's open to the public?
It is open to the public. Yes, it is.
And what's the dinner and what's the cost?
It's $25, and it's one of the Italian night dinners. So it's the salad, the pasta, the chicken, the potatoes. Yeah.
I've been there, done that.
I think it's one of the only 2 nights other than the Democratic Town Committee dinner that they open up to women. So if you're a woman and you want to go to the Italian Club, it's this Friday.
There you go. Well, this has been a lot of fun, Barb. I want to thank you for carving out an hour of your time to be on City Focus tonight.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
And we'll have you back on another time, but I'm excited about what you got going on, and now that I've got the calendar, I can help promo things when I'm out and about. And I do see a lot of folks down at where I work, down at Ace Hardware in Waterford. And
I think Ace Hardware is a sponsor of the fishing tournament during Connecticut Maritime Heritage Festival.
Okay, well, there you go. Andy Grant is very generous.
He is.
He's very, very civic-minded, I might add. Okay, folks, we'll wrap it up tonight. I want to thank Barb for coming in.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you again next week. And you've been watching City Focus. Good night.